What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled How Are We Using Our Spending Power? O'Shea would talk about we have a $1.3 trillion spending power as far as black people in general. And if we had that, if we used it correctly, we'd probably be in the top 10 of nations in the world. And, people we talk about, one of these things is talking about leaving the community and just going rogue in some ways, or going with like-minded people, or getting together and building, right? And I think the crux of the issue is how are we using our spending power to do this? And I got to ask this question because how much of your expenditures are circulating to either black-owned or businesses or establishments or products, right? Because we don't want to say that. Like when people say they don't like buying Jordans, I don't dislike Michael Jordan like that. I would rather somebody buy Jordans than Gucci's. You get what I'm saying? But Nike makes money. Yeah, but the Jordan brand makes money. He employs black people. So, that, like how we, so if you're doing that, I get it. But can't you just spread that out a little bit? Like if you buy sneakers, you could buy Jordans, you can buy Steph, LeBron, Kobe. You get what I'm saying? Like we can circulate our spending power to particular people. They have these posts and things that come out. Young lady is making lemonade that she's selling, I think, at Sam's Club or Costco, something like that. Can you buy those? They got a sister who's doing alkaline water that they're selling at Walmart. Could you buy her stuff? I remember there was a black woman who had olive oil in the grocery store, and I used to buy her stuff, but I guess it stopped being at the grocery store that I go to. And I remember seeing it somewhere else, and they overpriced it. But even if they overprice it, won't you still buy it? You get what I'm saying? Because we got to know how we use our spending power, because we're talking about it, but we're not taking inventory on what we're doing with our money. How often do you go eat at a black establishment, black restaurant, or go to a black owned nightclub, lounge, or spot? And where I'm at, I know of a few, and I don't mind driving to them to give them my money. You get what I'm saying? I don't mind. Some spots are established, and some spots are getting established, so they're not as good looking as others. But I don't care, because I feel like that's a way to circulate the black dollar. Like, getting the habit of establishing that. That's going to be one of my little things over the summer, is I'm going to try to hit up all of the spots, like black owned restaurants in my city. And I've done a few of them so far. So, and in certain places I frequent. But we got to ask how we're spending our black dollar, I like paintings and art and stuff like that. So a lot of I gave away a bunch of stuff, to be perfectly honest. But everything I got from the bulk of it. I can't say everything. The bulk of it I got in the French Quarter, in the Artist Square, where they're in the French Quarter by Jackson or whatever, and you see the people against the wall with their paintings in the Sankofa joint. That's next to the Cafe Du Monde, the beignet spot. I got some stuff from there too. That's an art, black artist or whatever. So how we circulating, how we using our spending power. You know, and since everything is online, that's another thing. It's not as difficult to find something because like my tag photo is a Tuskegee sweater. I'm gonna change my tag photo eventually, but I'm gonna just have a South Carolina State cardigan the same way, you know. And I bought stuff for HBCUs. That's why I got those two. I got a Mississippi Valley State jacket. I got a Texas Southern shirt, and I got an HBCU shirt that has Southern's colors. In some way, how are we spending? Are we, even when it comes to each other, like, are we investing in each other if we can? Like, even when you see these channels, like I'm so happy to see when they have live streams, people donating. That's a grassroots to saying that we will support each other, and that's great. When y'all hit up people's super chats, that to know that y'all doing that brightens my day just knowing it, because that's how we're using our spending power. We're spending with the things that we want, because we don't think about how we're affecting other black people. Like, I remember like a couple years ago when Luke Cage broke Netflix, or broke the internet. That was a good moment. You know what I'm saying? When Black Panther came out and it had and it did the numbers it did, that was a great moment. And if you're gonna keep Netflix, because I know they want the boycott or whatever, then you should just watch a lot of predominantly black shows to get their viewership up, right? That's what I would think. How we using our spending, because if we're gonna spend on Netflix, we might as well use it to spend on us. Because I don't even watch TV, and I've watched Black Lightning, Luke Cage, First Match, which was a dope movie. Like, it starts slow. It's about a girl who's like a foster kid whose father used to wrestle, and to get her out of trouble, she started wrestling. It starts weird. You won't think it's going to go where it goes when you're watching it, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. But like I said, that was a great movie. The other thing, when we're buying gifts, like normally I have another watch normally. My other watch is Italian twine watch, and I've had that for years. Dope watch. I'm probably gonna get some more. That's a black-owned company, Tally and Twine. They make nice stuff. I think I know the women. I've seen women online talk about they have like crafts and jewelry companies and stuff like that. Sisters should buy from them, because a lot of times people are spending and buying things as a way to say they're important, but a lot of times we should be buying our own people and pumping them up. Pumping them up, like, real talk. Like, I had another smartwatch. It was from Third Eye Watch. It broke. I had it for a long time, but I broke it because I be outside a lot, and silly stuff happens and things break, whatever. But I liked it. You know what I'm saying? This is the only reason I bought this smartwatch, to be perfectly honest. But how are we spending our money? Because if we use our spending power properly, we can employ and have a business online and in the city, and spread the word. Because I remember when what is that restaurant that's on TV? The one with the lady who's the reality show. I know they got a spot out here in Houston. I know I went there before too. Sweetie Pies. I went to Sweetie Pies before. It was cool. But we gotta frequent things like this. Clothing designers. find somebody who makes dope clothes, and you like them, get them. Get them. Like I remember I was buying a lot of stuff for my kid, for my son, and I don't even like certain things, but I was buying him a lot of truck fit and a lot of Rockaway and Jordan. Not because I wanted him, because they had like black faces on the stuff. So I was buying him predominantly stuff like that, so he could be accustomed to seeing wear his own people's stuff. I know there's like it's a kind of a deal, but they like the face. So any type of company that was like that, that's what I was actually buying. But that's what we got to do. Like, we got to actually see what we're doing with our spending power. Take it into consideration. If it's not black owned or black operated or has a black face, sometimes you got to think, try to find your own first. And if you can't, then move on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, there's just my thoughts about this. Peace.